All right. Well, good morning, everybody. How are you guys? So I just got, it's not the best coffee, I'm not going to say. We don't want to lie. The Dominican Republic, their attention to coffee is not the greatest. However, Jay Camparella, Katrina Castadio, there's two women here. You guys better act right, because that never happens. Usually it's me and 40 dudes just talking about how sad we are. Anyway, what you want, it's called chantage, something like that. And that's awesome. Right on, Jay. Johnny, sorry. Oh my God. You know, I just had a birthday at this age. Anyway, heavy cream, you ask for it, and it's fucking the sweetest, most delicious thing ever. Anyway, this is an island that I'm on, and it's amazing, and it's beautiful people, and all that, and there's a huge, beautiful ocean out there that nobody can swim in, because the rivers dump into it, and it's also polluted with human sludge and everything. I'm in the Dominican Republic, I'm sorry, I'm in Santo Domingo, in the Dominican Republic, and we're shooting a Kevin James film for Netflix, which is maybe the most hilarious and fun action film I've ever been on. That being said, it all seems like, you know, a lot of people are talk about other countries as if America is smart, which is hilarious, as if we're not just like we're like a rich kid that inherited a lot of money from some badass people. Because we do the same thing to the Mississippi, to all our rivers, all our ports. Like, it's not great to swim outside of Venice either. There's a Lou Reed line, man. One of his best albums was an album called New York, and he says Americans don't care too much for beauty. They'll shit in a river and dump battery acid in a stream, and then they'll complain that they can't swim. Man, and we just don't have. It's like dumb people don't have any foresight. They just can't see that. Oh shit, if I act like this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get into a wreck in 4 feet from now. They just don't understand. And we all have a lack of understanding to a certain degree, you know? Like I'm certainly aware of what I'm unaware of. Like I try to correct that all the time, and I go, where was I not? I love that too, that mushrooms made me realize how silly people are. And also how silly you probably still are. Everybody has that. Like, I can't just point to because we are everybody. Like, at a certain point, and I don't know that, it's weird that people think that they've attained enlightenment through a drug is an odd thing, instead of through hard soul searching work and being crushed by life, which is kind of what does it. And there's some maybe shortcuts, I don't know, but I don't think there's that many. Anyway, that's a whole nother tangent. The problem is that we have San Diego, we got LA, we got all these goddamn things, because we never think about, like, hey, there's going to be more of us, and then we're not going to be able to sustain this. And now we have an ocean filled with plastic. And it's kind of it's a nauseating idea about who we are. And I almost think that there's a way that we don't, as people, I mean, I would say that about corporations too. We can't out-green corporations. The damage that corporations do in one day is probably way worse than if all of us recycled every day. We maybe just can't keep up with it. But to that degree also, people aren't responsible. I mean, and then you have people tricked, like Prius owners, that think they are being responsible, and all they're being is dicks. All they really wanted was to save gas. It's all this self-obsessed kind of feeling. It's wild, man. Anyway, all this beauty around. I just think my kind of philosophy is about eat life up and fucking get after it and do whatever, and consequences of societal judgment or whatever, be damned. Because you're dead anyway. And this thing isn't maybe gonna, it'll probably get better, but it'll probably get better. I mean, it just depends on what our ideas of better are. It might get better through a nuclear holocaust. Like, it's gonna, for sure, we're gonna reset ourselves. I think humans, but that's my point of this whole thing, is I think that humans are so fucked up in the way that they look at things that we have a built-in thing that we're not even aware of that resets the whole game. And it's basically based on our self-absorption. And we live generationally through this self-absorption long enough. And pop, eventually it just pops the top and we reset. The coffee's not good, but the cream. What up, Grand Rapids? Man, I put different stuff in my coffee. What do you put in your coffee? I don't know. I don't understand what that means. We've been here longer than we've assumed. You know, filtered water is funny, man. It's like, it's a trip because I'm on this island and they're telling me, hey, don't walk without your shoes on, you'll get sick. Don't eat lettuce, you'll get sick from the water. All that kind of thing. And it's wild because I thought that water that fell from the sky and all that was the way, you know, like that. There's nothing more natural than that. Like, and we are built more and more with danger of water into a place where people, even people that are agreeing with me that are right here, will go, hey, we need government regulation of our water, and we need them to take care of us because we've let government fuck the water up so much that we're going to give away water rights to that. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, but if you boil water, you go to a restaurant, Jungle Gym, they have what they have. You know what I mean? If you have fruit, you're supposed to wash it with your bottled water. Anyway, I don't know. I'm no scientist. I don't know shit about water. I know. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I do different stuff, different days. It's not a religion. I just like what I like, and depending on the result I'm getting for the day and depending on what my resources are, I only have one bottle of concentrate left. And I leave here Thursday in 2 days from now. And so I'm kind of saving that a little bit because I think tonight I'm going to go out with some of the boys and all that. Tomorrow's my last day. I got murdered like 64 different times on this show yesterday. And today I'm going to go and lay in the sun, I think. When was Kyle on there? Just recently? I like Kyle. I like him online. I don't know him personally. I don't know what cricket is. Tell them to get their shit together. We'll sell that shit to anybody. Well, thank you, Katrina. Katrina's a wonderful woman out there. Really saved my life. She was the first girl ever in my life that was nice to me. And she's a goddamn genius, too. That's amazing. If you guys need graphics work, Katrina Custodio, that's your lady. And she'll strangle you, too. Oh, shit. What up, Casey? How you doing? What about B-Mac? No, I didn't see Kyle Kingsbury. Tell me, what happened with Kyle Kingsbury? Was he just awesome? I know, Scott, you could probably take all kinds of stuff, charcoal or whatever, but I can barely get my toothbrush in the bag. I mean, I appear to have my shit together, but I don't want to. I want to just dispel that rumor right now. I have my shit. I don't even know where all my shit is, let alone have it all together. I love that guy. B-Mac, I'm gonna incant Jesus, I think, in my sign-offs every time I talk now. I'm inspired. You know what's funny? What do they call him? Laserdisc. I don't know. I need to know more about this, I guess. All I know about Kyle Kingsbury is that he's a bad motherfucker and that he's a fucking gentleman, man, on social media and stuff. Like, he is a sweetheart of a dude. And I'm sure he has a cute wife. I think he's got babies too, I'm pretty sure. And I think he lives up in the mid-coast somewhere in California. He likes Twitter. That fucker's on Twitter a bunch. And Instagrams. I see him on Instagrams too. All the best people read a lot, it seems like. Yeah. What do you mean, where am I on Twitter? Search me, fool. I'm there, I'm easy to find. The only thing that's funny to find is me on Snapchat. I'm taitimusmaximus on Snapchat, as opposed to Tait Fletcher. And I don't know why. I'm an idiot. I should have just had my real name. Makes it a little harder for people to search stuff, which in my case isn't great because everybody calls me a dick anyway. And so it's better if nice people can find me too, to say, hey, maybe he's nice, he likes whipped cream in his coffee. So I just got a thing to change gears. I want to talk like a little jiu-jitsu for a minute. Yeah, he can't be called Dozer. I don't know who Dozer is at Tecumseh, but my friend Dozer is he's a SEAL team guy, and that's the only Dozer I know. And I forgot what I was going to say. God damn it. Jiu-jitsu. My friend Josh Passini. Another gentleman. Jiu-jitsu, something like that. It makes dudes gentlemen. And here's the thing. Here's the big idea about jiu-jitsu. You guys ready? Okay. This is fancy as shit, right? I got a fucking tripod. I really come up. I feel like I'm just killing it right now, just because a simple thing like my tripod. All right. I have a daughter. She's 19 years old, and she was adopted when she was 3 or 4 years old. And I was just out of pretty serious interaction with the FBI and the police. And my future was uncertain, to say the least. So, at any rate, I just got reunited with her, and I try to tell her stuff, because I'm a guy that knows some stuff. She's a girl that's 19, and she doesn't want to hear a whole lot of stuff from a guy like me. But the thing is that in life, I think, like, I never really knew what wisdom or what all that kind of stuff was, I guess. I had ideas of it, you know. I'd think about, like, Gandalf or Merlin, right? Don't make any weird comparisons. I'm not saying I'm like Gandalf or Merlin. But I thought about, like, these kinds of men that I thought would be like that, right? And I started thinking about learning, you know. Like, life is about learning and about awareness. And then about how you can be helpful with that stuff, I think. I think that's what it's kind of about. Anyway, so I start telling her stuff like, I'm like, you fuck with these people, this is going to have this result in a few years. Like, this is going to take you to a place. I've already seen this movie. And that's the thing about, like, living for a little while is like, fuck, I've already seen that, or doing whatever it is, like, repetitively. Like, you can be 16 and have done it, and you'd be like, well, I've hit the baseball all these times, and now I can discern between a fastball and a curveball, and now I know what's coming, I know what to swing at, I know what not to swing at, right? Like, repetition, if you're paying attention to that repetition, gives you an awareness that's higher than regular people that are just walking into whatever the thing is. Life is like that on a bigger scale. The macrocosm of life mimics the microcosm of whatever the little event is. Anyway, and I start going, if you do this, then here's something that's going to maybe eventually occur that is going to be deleterious maybe to the positive aspects of your life, to put it really generally. And she's like, yeah, thanks, dude. And she was way nicer than that. But like, I've been told to fuck off in really nice ways before. I know what it means. Anyway, I look at that and I start thinking about it, because like as a teacher, I always would think about, you know, it's not the student that's messed up. It's like my message. In some way, I need to be smart enough and good enough to be able to get my message into a position to where their ears can hear it, to where it can absorb into their bodies. Like, now there's some students that I've only had a couple that I haven't been able to crack that code, and they're, a lot of times people decide not to learn. But for people that really want to learn, you know, if you're thoughtful about it, you can find a way into their ears. So I sit and I'm thinking about that. I'm like, how could I help Olivia to see this? And without like an activity, like I thought about where I got it from, and which is all real egocentric. I mean, our whole life, I guess, is through the vision of what our own eyes are. And so it is egocentric in that way. It's like, and my vision's not what everybody's vision is. I get that. But I start thinking about it. I start thinking about jiu-jitsu. I start thinking about fights. And what fights are is life. It's a whole life that's condensed into this little tiny ball. And what happens is you either live or you die. And there's steep consequence to that in the, if you meet that out into the metaphor of it. And so the consequence, when I tap, you've killed me. Like, that's what's happened. So at any rate, we go down and I go down this road and I start thinking about jiu-jitsu, which isn't like a fight, but it's what everybody can relate to or anybody can do. And the powerful lessons that jiu-jitsu is life. Jiu-jitsu is life. Like, and maybe there's other things that are, but for me, jiu-jitsu is life. And jiu-jitsu is in the way, thank you, Candy, I hope. And she's great anyway. She doesn't need a monkey like me telling her, but whatever. But in a 3-minute area, you know, Casey and I can roll, and you know, we can start on our knees even or whatever, and boom, and we can go and he can pass into half guard, and then he can get an underhook and pass into side control, and then I can go to roll over and he can take my back and he can strangle me. And then, being a good guy and a good teacher, Casey goes, hey, let's reverse engineer that. Now what happened was that you let go of having any underhook control, and then when you turned, I was able to take your back. Now that was the turning point for when you started to roll downhill, and then boom, I'm able to kill you. And so, and then we can re-roll again a little bit and I can go, oh, I feel where that was. I feel that was a mistake. And that was a mistake that had the consequence of death. Got it. So that becomes the thing then, is that I can see in 3 minutes that this bad decision. Now, if you're a 20-year-old and you're looking at that over life and you're like, yeah, dating a dude like this is going to be like this, or having a job like that, or taking these courses in school versus all that kind of stuff, man. If you live in this kind of a town or you hang around these kinds of people, this is going to have this result later. You're going to, if you have an excuse for everything, you're going to create a victim mindset, and then you'll be a victim, like everything will become a victim later, and then that person is never going to prosper. You can live all you want, but it's not going to be at a high level. You're never going to reach your purpose in that way. All you're going to do is whine in a mire of being an Eeyore. So, but that gets all condensed in a jiu-jitsu match, right? That all gets condensed when you're training at a high level with steep consequences. And that's the beauty of those kinds of things, I think. And I'm so anymore, I mean, it's like, it comes back to, I'm super grateful to have an outlook like that, because like I think in the Bible it says, as above, so below. I'm not a big Bible guy, but those kinds of things, I think there's some universal truths in that. And I do believe in that of, you know, the macrocosms fit the microcosms. And I see it everywhere, man. I just, I see that everywhere. It occurs everywhere. And, no, I would never read a book named that, probably. I don't know. Maybe. The problem I always had with most books like that, even like Sam Sheridan, The Fighter's Mind, it was great. I remember when Sam came through Jackson's and he's writing and and he was a nice guy. I don't know anything about him. I never read the book. But I'm like, here's a guy that's writing about what is. And I'm like, see ya. Like, I don't have a high regard for spectators, I guess. And Sam really tried to get in it. And I think he would train sometimes and stuff like that. And he was like a super fan, and that's cool. And but at that time I was just always really opposed to that. So I never really read like martial arts books in that kind of, I heard Sam did. I'm not trying to talk shit on Sam. I heard it was awesome. But Uh, yeah, man, I would love to. What I'm saying is I'm more open-minded now. I'm less of a dickhead. I used to hope people in the line at McDonald's would die instantly and burst into flames in front of me too when I would cut weight. So it wasn't a healthy mind. I just want to preface it with that. I'm a little more open-minded now. But 2 hours for you, maybe. For me, that could be 6 hours, bro. I've got to reread a lot of stuff. Anyway. And then I go at the end of it all, just love her. And whatever she does, be there for her and hold her, because none of it really matters a whole lot anyway, except that. And I think that we are in a realm right now where we're hung up on death and what that means, and we have this one life. And at the end of the day, I can't imagine, this life is so ridiculous. I can't imagine that this life is much more than like a facsimile of a real life. And that it's much more than like a stepstone to another life. It seems very odd to me that this is it. And so in that regard, I don't trip too much on what people or Olivia or whomever does or doesn't do, because that kind of stuff, it really just kind of leads to either being disappointed or, you know, it leads to separation. And I think the whole thing is less separation, you know, is kind of disintegrating the illusion of separation that we have between each other. Last thing I'll say, just that I noticed, I was at a CrossFit business seminar, which was fucking awesome. It was like a movement and fitness business seminar that would be applicable to anybody with a MMA gym or whatever. But it was awesome. I wish you 2 years. I don't understand that. Anyway, all these guys were in the room and they were like, you know, it's like there's maybe there's affiliate owners out here. There's other 10th Planet brothers that are mine that are here, and there's probably CrossFit gym owners. And one of the things that happens is in bigger brands, like 10th Planet's very small and very familial. But in bigger brands, like CrossFit, there's a feeling of people are like, it's like every asshole with a fucking brown belt or whatever thinks like, oh, I'll be an instructor. And they have no idea what it means. They have no idea. They've never been a coach. They've just been a self-obsessed student forever, which is great too. But it's different than being a coach. And then they think they're going to make some money doing it. And it's like, if you're not doing it for love of the game, you got it wrong. Like, I mean, all the best coaches I know never fucking made really hardly even a living. So at any rate, and every goddamn buddy that can do a couple of pull-ups and push-ups is like, I'm a CrossFit coach. I could do that. I go and I do this course. Anyway, what I'm saying is there's a bunch of men that are out there that are running shit that are fucking supposed to be leaders, and they're going playing the blame game. But like, well, CrossFit isn't supportive in X, Y, or Z ways. And I was in a room of maybe 100 people, and I just blurted out. I go, hey. Okay, I'll listen to Kyle. Jesus, I'm gonna have to write him a note to say thank you for something I haven't listened to yet. I understand he's great. Golly, he's got a nice body too. Shaved head. I don't know what it reminds me of. Anyway, I had to remind everybody. I go, hey, the thing is that you are CrossFit. There's not a corporate CrossFit. It's you. And it's your representation. And unless you are looking at somebody that has a sub 4-minute Fran time, or that knows all the lingo about WODs and all that kind of stuff, then you don't really take them in. And you're talking about an all-inclusive thing, and you're talking about you want more business. But if business is, and it's the same thing with jiu-jitsu guys. If you don't have cauliflower here, it's less than that. But like, if you do another martial art, you do that fake shit. You do kung fu? Fun. Have fun, buddy. Like, oh, you're into trapping hands, are you, pussy? Like, there's not a jiu-jitsu guy out there that doesn't have that echo in his mind, at least, when that gets said, right? Oh, you're into karate. Cool, cool. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I saw Lyoto Machida. Awesome. Yeah, you're probably just like that. So there's that kind of thinking, right, of this separation. Now, I understand what it all is. I get it. But the fact is that if people are people, am I trying to twist somebody that's already doing something that's active that they really like? Like, if I'm a CrossFit guy, am I trying to get somebody that's doing weightlifting? If you're already doing something you really love, awesome. What I'm saying is I don't want to distill myself to the point when I communicate with people and I go, hey, I'm in brand Z123 to the second degree fitness. Are you in that too? Oh, you're not? As opposed to, hey man, I like to get out and sweat and it's so nice to be in the community and be together. And like, you can really feel like you're with each other when you're doing it and you do this great thing and then you feel great afterwards. Well, that's a lot more inviting, right? And trying to look at the way, like, how does my speech either include or dissuade people from being into their own thing? Because the thing I notice a lot is that there's this part of me that is against myself. You know, a friend of mine posted a meme today. Her name's Mary Shinauda. She does this great thing called fat fudge, which, oh, if you haven't had it in your mouth, let her put it in your mouth because it is fucking awesome. She is at Paleo Chef on Instagram, and she's at Fat Fudge. It's I think is it PHAT? It might be. I don't know. It's awesome. Anyway, and she posted a thing this morning that said, eat as if you give a shit about yourself or something like that. And there is that real aspect to us of like, I'll eat in ways that I know aren't going to be high for my performance or even my emotions. It's not going to feel good to me later. And I'll do it anyway. There's actions I'll take where I'm like, oh, you know, you hear about it all the time. You know, some buddy of yours is talking. He's like, yeah, and so I've been, how's it going with your girlfriend? Oh, it's good, you know, cool. Yeah, her sister's pretty hot. Yeah, I know, I fucked her. And now she's pissed at me. And it's like, whoa, like that guy knew that was going to lead him into a wreck, but he can't help himself. Like, and there's that part of yourself about having dominion over yourself where you're not putting yourself into, you know, it's like being kind to your future self. Why would I behave in a way today that isn't going to be in my best interest? But we do it all the time. I do it all the time. And so my thing is always going, this is going to be a poor choice, and knowing that there's going to be consequences to accept. And I'm trying to limit that more and more and more. I'm trying to limit the position where I don't do myself a favor with my behavior today, and I'm kind of robbing myself tomorrow. Yeah, it's an old axiom in finance. Don't make short-term investments on long-term, something like that. Anyway, and the other thing is, dude, I don't know. I'm in the Dominican right now. There's guys all around, man. I want to get Kevin James on, but it's just like it's hard when you're on a film set to be like, hey, it's just hard. But I'm trying to, man. The last one I did was such a smash. I loved it so much, man. It was so fun, and you know, I'm just looking for that, like once a week, once every couple of weeks, sometimes 5 times a week, whatever I can do, man. But I appreciate you listening. I'm glad you like them. A lot of the stuff on the Dominican I haven't put on Instagram, but it's just been on, I've been hitting them on Snapchat, so you can find out a lot about that there. And what else, man? Oh, I don't know if you guys are heard or not, but I trained at Beverly Hills Jiu-Jitsu like in 1999, just for a minute. Who is it? What was the name? I'm sorry. I'm in all the movies on Netflix. 99, 1. I still don't know who you're talking about. Anyway, oh, if you guys don't know, man, go to my Instagram and put out a little bit of support for 10-foot screws. There's a throwback pic on there, and we're gonna get the band back together, I think, and get on the road again. So go show your support, and God bless. Love you guys very much. Hit up my YouTube, Tait Fletcher, I think is what it is. I don't know what else, man. Go love each other, bro.